So the first two cards out for what is leaving or being removed during eclipse season is the Loving Man and Great Achievement. So I'm going to take a little closer look here and see what's going on, why it is that we have love leaving, or this relationship, as well as clear this energy of achievement here. Tell me more about this. Why is this in what is leaving, or what is exiting our reality during eclipse season? Tell me more about this. The Loving Man, Great Achievement. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords here. All right, so what I'm feeling from this energy here is that the Loving Man represents somebody who presents really well on the outside, but does not, like, behind closed doors, it's a different story. So when people looked at this relationship, they saw a picture perfect storybook kind of situation. But for some people, this Loving Man represents someone who was abusive, perhaps narcissistic, somebody who started out, right, with the flowers and the compliments, making you feel good, making you feel safe. You guys know the story. And then it turned into something darker. For others, this is just a relationship that is not fulfilling, even though this kind of feels like the guy or woman, you know, flip it however it fits. This is a general reading, who looks really good on paper, but there's not a whole lot there other than that. There's no chemistry, there's no fire, there's no zazazoo, as Carrie used to say in Sex and the City. Or there's just, it looks good, it makes sense on the outside, but it just isn't flowing, it isn't working. So for some people, it's like you're finally coming to terms with this. For people where this is an abusive relationship, you're finally getting the courage to leave, or this person is being removed through some circumstance. If you haven't been able to do it on your own, that's going to resonate for a few people watching this. And the other understanding of this is that just the relationship that isn't quite resonating, isn't quite fitting. It's kind of like in this relationship, what I'm getting is sort of like you went to the thrift store and you bought a pair of shoes and they didn't quite fit right, but they fit well enough and you really liked the shoes. So you decided that you were going to get them anyway and just work with it. But you're realizing that you can't walk through life in a pair of shoes that doesn't quite fit. That's the analogy that I'm getting here. And now with the Great Achievement, what I'm feeling from this and why this is leaving is that this is some type of success, once again, going with the same theme that looks really good on the outside. Perhaps this is something that meant a lot to you for a great period of time. For some of you guys, it's not even about you. It's about like your family or the people in your, like the people that surround you, kind of like it was expected for you to, fall into the family business, or your parents expected you to have a certain career, or your spouse expected something from you. Or you just had different goals and desires at one point and you fulfilled them and you've really risen to the top of your field, the top of your profession, the top of your game, wherever this is concerned. But you're ready to move on to something else because you've achieved that pinnacle of success and it's no longer fulfilling, or for some of you guys, it's simply just no longer challenging and you need something that is more challenging because you need to remain engaged. So, with whatever you're doing. So that's what I'm feeling from that for what's leaving. So let's get into what's coming in here. Clear. And I'm wanting to start pulling with the tarot on this, what's coming in. All right. We have the Four of Swords. So healing is coming in. For some of you guys, this is a necessary like recalibration, like a rest and retreat kind of an energy. All right, let's get some more. Some of you guys, it's like you've been pushing yourselves for a really long time and you're finally getting that break. You're finally giving yourself that rest. There's like self-care for some people, bringing in a deeper level of self-care. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles here. So it's like an emotional and a mental rest and reboot. And then there's like a renewed sense of purpose to really begin fine-tuning something in your life, some skill. For those of you who left an old career, this has to do with really beginning to learn something new. Perhaps you decided to pursue a completely different field of study. You decided to do something totally unrelated to the thing that you had so much success and achievement in. But what Spirit wants you to remember, if you're still on the fence about whether you want to leave or not, when you're viewing this reading, is that everything that you learned there was not wasted, because the skills are going to be applicable to what you do next. And there's more of a connection than you think, even if these things seem to be completely different. So just know that and trust that, and go with your gut, go with your heart, most importantly. And so it's like really throwing yourself into something new here. And for some people, maybe also refining skills that you have, but it definitely feels like something brand new for a lot of people watching this. We have the 7 of Wands. So this is like standing your ground. And some of you guys might need to, because there's like a major life change that's happening here. And the people in your reality, especially the people that you were living the old life for, right? The people who wanted you to have the job that was good on paper, the relationship that was good on paper. For some of you guys, both of those things are changing. Some of you guys, it's going to be one or the other. But for some of you guys, it's like you're getting out of both of those things. And people are going to be looking at you like you're crazy, because you're so comfortable. You have yourself so set up, right? And now it's like you're starting from scratch again. But you know that this is worthwhile. And you're actually, you know, because you're passionate and you're excited about what it is that you're moving into, what it is that you're doing next. All right. Anything else here? So this is about standing your ground and not allowing other people, because that's what you did for a long time, right? Was you allowed other people. Or even if it wasn't other people, it was like very Capricornian energy I'm getting here, in the sense of like society at large, if it wasn't specific people, to tell you what was worthwhile and where you should focus your energy. So now it's like the challenge and sort of the level up here is standing up for what you know to be true for you, and just sticking to your guns, essentially. And this is especially true for those people who are coming out of the abusive relationship. Absolutely. This energy of like standing up for yourself, standing your ground. Just, I just feel it's an energy of empowerment is what I'm feeling coming through here. And we have the Knight of Swords. So this is like you taking swift, decisive action. All right. Do we need a clarifier on the Knight of Swords here? Let's get a clarifier on the Knight of Swords and why this is here. I feel like the Knight of Swords, for those of you coming out of the abusive relationship, this is like you realizing that you are your own knight in shining armor, right? Like, I feel like there were times where you wish that somebody would come in and rescue you. And perhaps some of you, that's how you got in this situation in the first place, was this person swept in, like the Knight of Swords, hot and heavy, wanting to rescue you, wanting to be that knight in shining armor, and then they turned out to be anything but. And so the challenge and the level up here is realizing that you are your own Knight of Swords. Like I said, you are your own knight in shining armor. And it's like having that, knowing that you are here to rescue yourself and having the courage to do so. Also having the courage to speak your truth with this air energy here. Yeah, and really step into your sovereignty. With the King of Pentacles, your stability, your sovereignty. That's what you're building or rebuilding for yourself as we're moving into the rest of 2024 in this powerful new timeline. We have Temperance here. This is healing on the bottom of the deck. This is also patience. So be patient as you're building, because you guys, a lot of you guys, you're starting from scratch, right? You're starting at the ground level, and that is going to take some time. So just know that. Remember this energy of resting and rebooting. All right, don't try to do everything all at once. Rome was not built in a day, as they say. So take your time, do it right, and do it well, and enjoy every step of the journey, because this feels like a really exciting new chapter that's opening up for everybody who is finding this reading.